So we are all of an age where Nintendo was a really big deal growing up. So I'm wondering, what were each of your first experiences or memories of these characters? Was it playing Donkey Kong? Was it getting an NES? What was it?
I remember playing Donkey Kong, but I don't think it was until I owned Super Mario Brothers that I put together that was Mario and Donkey Kong. Right. That you kind of like after the fact realize it. But what I remember, my set came with a double. It was both Mario and Zelda. You could play either one, and it was the greatest. I played them both as much as I possibly could.
So good. Yeah, that was the same with me. My very first memory is the arcade, and then shortly after, within that probably same 6 months to a year, the NES came out, and we had one at our house, and boy, the rest is history.
It's a game changer.
Now, obviously, because of that, we've been part of our lives and so many people's lives for so long. Was there any trepidation to step into these roles because they do have such a long history, passionate fan base, and are largely undefined when it comes to like a larger story?
That's a really good point. It is largely undefined, but I think because it's largely undefined, it kind of reduces the amount of trepidation that I would feel that I personally felt coming in. I mean, you have great reach. Anytime you have IP like this, it's really something that's almost required these days to create a big tentpole type of movie for these studios is you'd have to have some kind of reach. The fact that this hasn't been a major motion picture recently was a really great thing. And you're right, there's not that much familiarity beyond just what their costumes look like, a handful of catchphrases that you might hear. So, and knowing that it was Illumination, I was like, boy, I think this is destined to be a home run. So I was really, really grateful to be a part of it.
When the voice cast was announced, it was met with excitement, but confusion and some criticism. Chris, specifically, how did you feel about that since so much of that was directed at you?
Oh, I totally get it, man. This is a passionate fan base, and I'm one of the fans. I get it. Mostly, people don't want something like this to get screwed up. They're precious about it. They're careful, and I'm grateful that.
I think Super Mario Brothers really, when you think about what a video game does for people, sometimes it is a place to escape to. So people, they would go maybe having a tough day at school or in your work life, whatever it is. You put on Super Mario Brothers, you play it for an hour, and you just disappear into that land and in that world. So in many ways, the game had taken care of people, I think, in a way that they don't want the franchise messed up at all. So I think they'll be really happy when they see the movie 2, 3, maybe 4 times in the theater to see that it's been, Illumination's really done a great job with it, and it's been in really good hands. And the attention to detail for those people who are huge Super Mario Brothers fans, they're giving the audience what they want. So I think they're going to be pleased.
I just want to pause it all in Mario's room because there are so many little things. And that's
right. Exactly. Right. Everything from the game he's playing to the things on the shelves. There's Easter eggs everywhere. It's really made for, kids can truly enjoy this, but also people who like us, who are kids at heart, who at one point were kids playing this game. It's designed specifically for huge fans of this IP.
Charlie, you co-created a show I love called Mythic Quest, which is obviously gaming centric. I was wondering, what did you take from that show that maybe helped you on this, or did the people who work on that show say anything to you about being a part of this?
Oh, that's interesting, right? Yeah, there's a lot of overlap there. The only thing that I really could connect from that experience to this is just how massive the gaming world and culture is. It's why Rob and I, and then Megan later, wanted to make Mythic Quest, was because of just how huge the world of video games is. If I've taken anything from it, is just a deeper understanding of video game culture. And then now I have a son who is, cares as much about video games as I've cared about anything in my life. So, it's just, I'm getting more and more into the world of video games. And then when this just popped up, it just, I don't know, it seemed like a lucky and very fortunate next step to just get myself even deeper in the world of gaming.
Chris, you're obviously part of so many franchises that are important to fans. I'm wondering how, if at all, being part of Nintendo and Super Mario feels different from a Jurassic or Marvel or a Lego.
Yeah, it stands alone in its reach. I think certainly, like I loved Jurassic Park as a kid. I was 13 years old when it came out. It was big part of my childhood. I might have seen the movie maybe 5 or 6 times through the course of growing up. Well, 5 or 6 times 90 minutes is 7 hours. I played this game for hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
Probably maybe 1,000 hours of my childhood spent. And so I like the sound, the hitting a coin, catching a flower, hearing the score when you're, all of the every little detail of the movie. It was like I was hypnotized by it as a child. So to see it now, I mean, it's just nothing really compares to it in terms of my relationship to the brand. So it's pretty cool, pretty incredible. And also I care enough, just as much as everyone else, to make sure that it doesn't get screwed up.
And you talk about just the reach of it and what it means to you. I think what I'm most excited about for this movie is that now, because there's a Super Mario movie and it's probably going to be a big hit, maybe we'll get more Nintendo movies finally. If that happens, what are a game that you guys would each like to see adapted?
Spy Hunter.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. And we were talking about Metroid.
Metroid would be good.
How interesting and creepy and cool a Metroid world would be. Also, Contra. Give me the Contra movie.
Yeah.
And don't make it animated. Make it live action.
Live action?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
down.
And give me Stallone and Schwarzenegger. And
Yeah, right?
and set them loose.
I mean, it'd be.
I say it's you guys in Contra live action.
Yeah, let's go.
Absolutely.
All day.
I am in 100%.
Yeah, but we're very serious. No jokes.
Dead serious.
Dead serious. Platoon.
I'll put
level
on
serious.
50 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
Box office. We're talking box office.
Yeah.
When we talk Nintendo and Super Mario, you can't talk without mentioning Miyamoto-san, absolute legend, like the George Lucas of that kind of level.
Wow.
Did you guys get to work with him at all? Like, what was your kind of relationship with him in this?
I had met him before. I met him previously. I don't know if that was part of the reason why I was chosen to play Mario, but I met him backstage at Jimmy Fallon a few years ago, and I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy!" That was like just my childhood and my adulthood colliding in a strange way. And then I met him again at the opening of Super Nintendo World at Universal Hollywood, and he's just like, he's here, like you said, he's such an icon, he's such a legend, he's such a kid in a big way. He's always got a big like graphic T-shirt and a huge smile on his face, and he's like seems to be really always happy. I don't know if that's real. If he is always happy, I'm sure. He's such a legend. It was really cool to get to meet him and spend time with him.
Chris, you mentioned Super Nintendo World. I think with that, and also the 2 Jurassic rides and the 2 Guardians rides, you might be the most theme parked actor out there these days. I'm wondering, like, have you ridden all these rides, and which is your favorite?
Oh man, yeah, we've got them all over the place, all over the world. I mean, we're in Disney. We got I took my son on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride at California Adventure Park, and that was pretty wild. The former Tower of Terror, but now there's Guardians Rewind, and then there's the Jurassic World ride at Universal, and then there's the Mario ride at Universal. Then there's the Osaka, Japan, and then we've got a Beijing Disney. Well, yeah, there's a bunch of them, man. They're all over the place. I haven't been on all of them.
This movie has some fun teases for the future, potentially. When you came on board, was it understood this could be a multi-film franchise, and have you guys signed on to do more?
Oh, gosh. I think it was understood that it could potentially be, but I actually haven't even thought that far ahead.
No, I think they said we're going to make this movie and see how it goes.
Yeah. That's usually the model anyways in animation. Like, it's not unlike like Marvel, if they're like, oh, you're going to be Star-Lord. Cool, we're signing you on to a 4,000 picture deal. And you're like, great, I will do it. But with animation, typically it's like you do one, you see how it does, and if it does well, then you can always go back to do more.
And I don't know if you've ever been on the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia theme park ride, but let me tell you, man.
Yeah, it's really good.
They put you in a garbage can, they hook it up to a tow truck, they just drive you around South Philly. It's awesome.
Yeah. You get really drunk. You get really drunk along the way.
Exactly.
Yeah. You do have a Lego. You're part of the Lego ride at Lego.
I do have the Lego
ride. Yeah, Lego
ride.
Legoland.
I got to wrap, guys. Thank you so much for your time today. Have a great one.
Meow. Ah! You got the cat box! Oh my... I'm sorry. Okay. Now you die.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and check out more io9 videos here on YouTube.